I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the sequel trilogy, there's a lot of fans out there who have had a lot of issues with Star Wars episodes 7 through 9, and now that Disney and Lucasfilm are creating new stories and new Star Wars material for their new Star Wars universe, a lot of fans are very hopeful about the future. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie laid down the groundwork for new Star Wars lore to be explored, and currently, Disney and Lucasfilm are developing new stories that are going to retell elements of the past and will tell new stories of the future, and it's really going to give us an idea of exactly how big the galaxy really is, and so much of what they could really do with some of the other eras out there, like the Old Republic, the High Republic, and all these new eras as well that are going to be thrown into the mix. Now, with that being said, in case you guys did not know, Lucasfilm is currently cleaning house. A lot of new creators are coming on board. Kathleen Kennedy will no longer have creative control over any projects that will be released after 2021. So any movies or TV shows that will be released after 2021, Kathleen Kennedy will have no control over the creative choices for those movies and TV series. So apart from all of this, what's rather exciting all has to do with the Skywalker bloodline. We always think about Anakin and Luke when we think about this, as well as Ben Solo and Leia, since she is also a Skywalker by blood. Now, the thing about this that's really exciting is that Disney and Lucasfilm currently have a big strategy in place, and now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently finished with the Skywalker saga and are moving on to their new Star Wars trilogy and beginning their Star Wars universe, fans have been very curious as to how Disney will handle Star Wars moving forward. Now, ever since the release of The Rise of Skywalker, Lucasfilm has been cleaning house and bringing new creators on board. Now that they are in a position of restarting the franchise in various ways, fans are very worried about its future and its design. One of the big plans by Disney and Lucasfilm is to create a brand new Skywalker for their new expanded universe that will retell elements of the past and especially the future, and even stories in between. This is said to be their way of emulating the old expanded universe from the 1990s and the early 2000s to create similar stories. One of the big projects in place currently being developed are a set of canon material that will introduce a brand new Skywalker. It's noted that they are currently creating a story that will focus on both the first Skywalker and even the story of Rey's children, and that one of the other ideas that Lucasfilm is developing is the tragedy of Luke Skywalker's family that will be told in between the originals and the sequels in their new expanded universe. However, it's noted that the first phase of all of this is the new Skywalker that they are developing first, which is said to be a Jedi warrior from the Old Republic era that went under the name simply known as Skywalker. No first or last name, just Skywalker. And that it was the Jedi warrior that inspired the name to be used in various ways throughout the entire galaxy. The first Skywalker is said to be in the form of a story that will release sometime in 2021 by Disney and Lucasfilm. So what's really exciting about this story that they are developing really does make one wonder as to exactly what it really means for the characters of Luke. Are they connected or related to the first Skywalker, or is this just a random Jedi warrior that went under the name Skywalker, right? We still don't know about that because obviously this story is in early development and that's pretty much all we know about this new Skywalker that is being developed. Now, not just that, they really are trying to delve more into the Old Republic era, not just with Disney Plus, but also, of course, with future projects and with their new Star Wars universe, and that this is going to be their big step in doing just that. So, the first Skywalker and how he only goes under the name of Skywalker is very interesting. I think that's very creative and kind of gives you a sense of exactly what the Old Republic is going to be like in this new EU. Now, the new EU, by the way, in the newest book called Secrets of the Jedi that connects to the Rise of Skywalker line, it's actually a set of books that released before the movie that was actually Journey to the Rise of Skywalker, where We learned so much more about the Old Republic era. In fact, they are going to be unveiling more aspects of the Old Republic era as we know it in the current Star Wars universe. That's exactly what Disney and Lucasfilm want to do. And I think it's something that the fans really do deserve, because a lot of fans out there love that segment of the Star Wars history, right? In Legends, there was actually a video game called The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, and it really gave you an expansive storyline of the Jedi, the Sith, Dark Side Warriors. I mean, it was impressive. And the fact that Disney is trying to bring a lot of that back in their new EU, it just tells us how ambitious they really are, or perhaps maybe just how desperate they really are to get Star Wars back on track to how it was before Disney bought out Lucasfilm back in 2012. So, the last piece I just want to go over here real quick is that they're also experimenting with the tragedy of Luke Skywalker. I don't know if you guys knew this, but in the old EU, we had Luke Skywalker's son, which was Ben Skywalker, and we had his wife, Mara Jade Skywalker. And they want to emulate that in a new way in their new canon material. Obviously, the first Skywalker, to me, sounds like a very interesting idea, and the fact that the first Skywalker so far is only going to be named Skywalker is interesting. It kind of shows you like the true origin of the name and exactly where it really started. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.